All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Burkay. I am the owner of the Trader's Vault store. It is a new brand that I've come up with for the Pokemon and TCG world um, as a small business. I wanted to well, this is actually my second take for the video. The original took a little bit too long. It was almost 50 minutes. I kind of went off too long about other things, and I wanted to make sure I focus on the first 2 months into Pokemon. So I just wanted to give a little background about myself, though. I'm a real estate agent for the past 3 years in Arizona. I also have a small business that I own, which I'm kind of shifting towards, Pokemon TCG right now. And I haven't worked since COVID. Um, and again, not in the best way either, because I had a big savings and whatnot, and the COVID money, and I've done really well with crypto as well. Um, but I kind of have been running through all that money and going into credit since then. But I haven't worked for anybody else since COVID, which I'm, kind of proud of. I also have a little rental property, so I kind of do a little bit of everything. Um, and I kind of dove into Pokemon for the past few months, in kind of all aspects. You can call me whatever you want, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything. You can call it scalping, a little bit of investing, a little bit of playing in the TCG, opening packs as well for fun. I tried out whatnot as well in my first couple months, trying to sell on there. So I've kind of tried to hit the ground running, and I've watched a lot of um, Pokemon content for the past couple months. Taking in information as much as I can from all the YouTube heads out there and everybody who's knows way more about this stuff than me. Um, Main reason I wanted to make this video is someone that's new jumping into this scene. Um, a little background about myself again, like I said. I haven't worked since COVID. I kind of do a little bit of everything, and about 2 months ago, my buddy and I were in Discord chatting it up, and I don't know how it came across, but we were talking about Pokemon. We were kind of both laughing about how people at Costco are fighting over the boxes or whatever, which I came across that video like months ago whenever it first happened, and I just laughed at it. It was just funny, whatever. But then, that night we, kind of dove in. We kind of dove in and researched kind of like what's going on with Pokemon and figured out essentially these people are buying these boxes to flip because they're getting it for 50, 60 MSRP, whatever it is, and they're flipping it on the open market for 2, 3 times the value of the boxes. So knowing this information and kind of like researching a little bit more that night, um, we found out that that morning is actually the Blooming Waters drop. So, and this was kind of early in the morning, right around. He's East Coast, I'm West Coast, Arizona, and he went out to try to find some blooming waters like in stores, and I kind of did the same thing. I took a little nap, and then at like 6, 7 o'clock before, or it was just an hour or two before GameStop opened, maybe even 30 minutes. I got in line, but I was like the seventh person. But GameStop only had I think like 5 boxes, so like the first 3 people in line got everything, and it was just gone. So even being seventh in line, I didn't get anything that day, which sucks, but whatever. It's my first time. Stood in line, didn't get anything, whatever. We're just learning. So, I come back and doing more research that day and whatnot. And essentially, I didn't have any opportunities to buy a card for any cards at all for a while. I want to say there's everything, I try to check, I learned about the vending machines, check those out. Nothing's in stock ever. Walmart, Target, every once in a while I'd stop by, nothing. And there was a website, I think it was like Pop Finder or Pop Stock, something like that. I'll try to find it and, link it down below, which shows you like in stock SKUs at certain stores. And it was showing Prismatic in stock at a store pretty far away from me, and it was in stock the night of, and then the next day it was still in stock too. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll go over there. It's kind of a far drive though, so I was like, kind of hesitant, but I ended up going, and they didn't have anything. I don't know if they backdoor that stuff or somebody stole it or what happened, but there was no Prismatic at the store at the GameStop. But they did at this. This was the first time I actually saw Pokemon cards in public or like out in the wild, I want to say. And they had a Roaring Moon EX box, which I got my card for it. I opened up. That was the first time I got any box or cards, so I ended up buying that box, opening it up, and I forget what packs even it was. It was a little bit ago now, and I don't think I got any hits from that. But it was fun opening packs for the first time finally. So fast forward like another week, And before I dive into this next story, actually, a little bit more about like my crypto background and kind of tying it into, I want to say Rudy's alpha investment, staying the course type deal, which is kind of my goal with this whole Pokemon thing. Honestly, I know this is the middle of a bull market. Everything's kind of climbing up, and honestly, the last few days, single cards have been coming down and whatnot. But overall, it's a bull market. Everything's going up. Prices are crazy. Everything's out of stock. You know, um, and Pokemon companies saying they're going to reprint. We're waiting on that, obviously. But I want to stick to this long term, hopefully, because the only way, as far as I've seen from all the videos, Pokeanny and all these other YouTubers, the only ways in my mind that I'm seeing essentially to get a distributor is A, you wait for the bear market when no one's paying attention, no one's applying to, trying to get these distributors becoming a vendor or whatnot. Not as many people are applying essentially, which might be a while away. So, you don't know when that is. So, and then option B is essentially social media and having a social media presence and whatnot. So that's kind of my goal with this video. Now going back to crypto just for a little bit before I tie that into our next couple stories. So I jumped into Bitcoin since like 2017. I heard about it in like 2013, but I kind of brushed it off, whatever. And in 2017, I saw the price again, and it was like 10 times higher than what it was in 2013. So I was like, holy crap, what is this? What happened? How? So I started researching it. Long story short, I did all my research and really believe in crypto, and I've been in it since 2017, in and out, riding these cycles. Now, the way I rode the 2017-18 bull cycle, I was very new to trading. I bought from about $2,000 per Bitcoin all the way up to 11, I think, yeah, $11,000 per Bitcoin. I sold a little bit at 16, not enough to cover my initial costs, and then it hit 20 and crashed from there for the next couple of years. Now, a lot of people during this time, Bitcoin's going to zero. Oh, it's over, because it would crash from, tens of thousands down to 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, and a lot of people, gave up. So, and again, this is where I say, I stayed the course. I held my Bitcoin, I held my crypto throughout that time, and I made mistakes too. It's not like I made ridiculous money. I've definitely made mistakes throughout this time as well with cryptocurrency where in 2017-18 I even bought another coin that I put $1,000 into at the time, and I only had a couple thousand to invest, and that went to basically zero, literally like negative 99.9% over a year two period, which I just left it in there, which not, cut your losses. um, but I did hold my Bitcoin into the next cycle, and I rode into that wave of 2020, 2021, and I sold as soon as Bitcoin hit 40,000 at the time. I sold at 40, 50, 60, all the way up to, 65, 70, whatever it went to. I just kept selling my Ethereum and Bitcoin at the time. And, again, we had another market, that was another bull cycle, and then we had a double top, and then it crashed again. And we had another bear cycle, and now we're kind of in the middle of a bull slash, we hit all-time highs with Bitcoin again, 100,000. Now we're back down to 80,000 or whatever. But long story short, with these crypto things, I've been in altcoins, Bitcoin, all these other things, and these things move very, very fast. And I see a lot of similarities in a sense with Bitcoin, or no, cryptocurrency in general, and um, Pokemon cards, because and a lot of people don't know these cryptocurrency terms I might be talking about right here. If you have, any questions, I can dive deeper into it in the future videos. But essentially, NFTs from crypto, in my mind, are individual cards and sets. So here's one of the pulls, which you'll see the video of. And by the way, we do have, oh man, I always forget to talk about it. We're going to do a giveaway. So make sure you subscribe and comment on the BoosterBox opening video, which will be live as well. But individual cards are kind of like NFTs in my opinion. So, cards can go up or down. They can go very far down and never recover because there's so many sets, there's so many cards, there's so many cards that you could buy. There are thousands of different cards you could buy. Whereas the sealed sets are kind of like the currency itself, the cryptocurrency, or if you want to put it in stock terms, almost like those are the mutual funds and the individual cards are like the stocks almost, is how at least I'm seeing it from a newbie's perspective. But yeah, tying this into Pokemon. Obviously, we're in the middle of a bull market. I'm a newbie starting a business in this, during a bull market, which is obviously a lot easier, maybe harder. I'm not sure, but I'm willing to stay the course. That's all I'm trying to get at with the crypto stuff. And I'm also kind of I, I'm new to Pokemon, but I'm a seasoned trader in a sense, and I'm someone who's willing to hold their bags long term. So tying that into our next story in Pokemon. So just a short. I hope that I kept that much shorter than the previous video. I went way off on a tangent about crypto. Again, we can talk about that in another video if you want to leave a comment or learn more. So my second story, I finally got the Roaring Moon EX first box ever. Next after that, I joined a couple Facebook groups to try to find what was in stock. This keeps falling off my head. I tried to join a couple Facebook groups to see, if people notify you if things are in stock sometimes. And somebody posted, to my luck, Sam's Club, Sea and Sky boxes, limit 20 per person. And again, I've been searching for the past couple weeks and I can't find anything. So I'm hyped. And the post was only like 23 minutes old. And shout out to that person, whoever posted that. I drive over there. I'm only like 15 minutes away too. It was pretty close by. I drive over there. I show up, get my cart, go over there. Oh man, excuse me. We'll cut that out. A little water break. So I drive over there and I grab my cart, pull up to the boxes, and they got like 3, 4 pallets of this stuff. And I'm like, I start shoveling this stuff into my cart, just grabbing like 2, 3, 4 boxes, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And again, call me what you want, but please watch the full video for a full explanation of what I've done with all my boxes. So I'm shoveling my boxes, 20 boxes of Sea and Sky. And as I'm doing this other guy like pulls up to me and he already has two in his cart and he's just like, "Hey man, like, are these really worth it?" And again, I'm new at this time. Excuse me, I have really bad allergies right now too. And I'm new at this time. And I barely know what I'm doing. Like I didn't even when I got home, I looked at the price of these boxes on TCG Player. I didn't even realize like at the time. I looked it up after I got home with them. But yeah, I was just telling him, yeah, dude, definitely, yeah, they're worth it. And then he's like, oh, okay, like, so what do you do with them? And I was like, I'm gonna open a few, like, probably flip some, and as I'm shoveling more, in my box, in my cart, and oh man, my nose is really itchy. Uh, so I'm shoveling a bunch in my cart, and he's like, oh, okay, cool, like. Oh, so where do you sell them? And I was like, I don't know, Facebook, eBay, wherever, and I'm shoveling them, and he's like, oh, okay, thank you, like, and then he just goes on his way. I get my 20 boxes, go to checkout, I self checkout. And again, I thought about this later, but people are egregious with this stuff. It's 20 limit per person or per member or whatever it is. But again, you could easily, if especially if the people at the door that are checking receipts, like they don't know about Pokemon or whatever, you could literally just check out 20. Everything's self checkout everywhere nowadays, so you could literally just self checkout whatever. And that's what I've been seeing online. A lot of people doing that. But yeah, I grabbed my 20 that day, put them in my car, went home. Next day, I went back because I was like, I was hoping they had more. I went back in the morning, 7 boxes left. I took all 7. So I'm home with 27 boxes total. The night that I came home with 20, I actually, my girlfriend chose one, I chose another. We opened 2 full boxes of Sea and Sky, which was really fun because that's like 14 packs each or something. So it's like almost 30 packs. That was really fun. Needless to say, I didn't get any good hits. No golds. I think the best hit out of all the boxes we opened, which you'll hear about the rest right here, was like Darkrai, Darkrai V Star, I think, and a Sleeping Mew. Those are the best hits. We had some Laprases and like multiple Radiant Charizards, some other cards. But either way, we opened 2 boxes. I grabbed another 7 the next day, so I got like 25 boxes left, and I decided to list them on Facebook. And again, at the time, I'm new. I don't know, like looking back, I have way more knowledge now versus 2 months ago, or 2 months ago, and the knowledge obviously is, that's a Sword and Shield era set. Crown Zenith obviously is out of print. This is like the last time I think Sam's Club was gonna have Sea and Sky boxes essentially, which means like I really should have kept that a few more months and or years even. But hindsight's 2020. You'll still hear, I'm not too worried because I still made profit, as you'll hear for the rest of the story. So at the time, the boxes were like $90 each on TCG Player. When I got home, looked at the price, and I was like, okay, cool. So opened a few boxes. Then I listed 20 out of the 25 I had left. So I listed them at one for 85, 10 for 80 each, or all 20 for 75 each. And I left it on Facebook Marketplace for a little bit, and a couple people hit me up, try to lowball the single box. I told them firm on the price. So and nobody really bid on a single box at 85. Um, but then 2 days in, a guy from California messaged me, and I'm in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and he wanted to buy all 20 boxes. He's like, I'm on my way from California. I'll be there in like 5, 6 hours. I'll pick up all 20 boxes. Wait for me. And I was like, cool, dude. You're first in line. Nobody else like hit me up for these boxes yet. So you'll be first. So 5, 6 hours later, he hits me up. I meet him at our location and sell all 20 boxes to him for 1,500. And I was also asking him like, cause again, I'm trying to learn about this market. So I was asking him, oh cool, like what are you gonna do with the boxes? You're gonna sell them in like California or what? You got a store? Like I don't think I asked the store thing, but I was kind of asking him a question or two, and he was kind of hesitant at first, but I was like, dude, I like in my mind, I'm like, dude, I don't care, like do whatever you want with the boxes, you're buying them. But I was just wondering what he's doing, just to see like how it's gonna be or what he's doing with them essentially. I figured he's just flipping them. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna sell them in California. They go for more. And I think on Facebook Marketplace I saw they were already selling for like 100 plus in California at the time, which I was like, okay, cool, makes sense. And now he's getting a good deal, 75 per box. But long-winded story short with this one, I got the 27 boxes, sold 20 to him for 1,500. And again, I think all in all, the 27 boxes cost like 1,200 total. So that's like 300 profit. And I ended up after selling that, I was like, cool, we made profit. I'm opening up more boxes, which big mistake. It's better to keep your sealed stuff sealed. But I wanted to have some fun. It was just a little celebration after a W like that, a big sale in my opinion, at least for starting out. So I opened I think like three more boxes, and again, those were the best hits that I got earlier that I talked about. Um, Besides that, I kept the last two boxes. So out of the 27, sold 20, opened 5, and kept 2 for long term. So that's our Sea and Sky story after my original Roaring Moon box, which, oh yeah, I forgot to, as we were talking about that story, all my, I really like these mega cards. Let's put that one down. I really like these big, like, jumbo cards. So I got 5 Rayquazas from my Sea and Sky boxes that I've opened. So after seeing the potential there from Sea and Sky and flipping that, and again, call me what you want, but I opened some packs, I kept some for long term, I flipped some. So, and again, my story with all of this is if I was if I saw a stock that was a stock or a cryptocurrency that was trading actively at $90 each. And again, crypto and stocks way different. Obviously, it's way more liquid. You can literally like instantly sell and get your money with crypto and or stocks. Um, but obviously, with the boxes in Pokemon, that it's not that liquid. You need to find someone, sell them, ship them, whatever it is. So it's a little bit slower and more tedious, obviously. But again, if these stocks or cryptos are at $90 actively trading, and you have the opportunity to buy it at 40 or $50, why aren't you doing it? And I see a lot of people that are emotional in this market, which I guess is understandable because it's like collectibles, kind of more emotions tied to it because everyone's favorite Pokemon, or a lot of people are collectors or actually play the TCG, which I have another story in this 3 month. This might be a long video still, but we did also. I am playing the game as well. I attended the build and battles for Journey Together for the pre-releases, which was really fun, honestly. And these build and battles come with like a 40 card deck and 4 packs. And the event I went to with my local LGS game store it was $25 only plus tax. for the build and battle, which comes with 4 packs, and then they gave you 1 pack per round, up to 3 rounds. So you got basically 20 or 7 packs of Journey together, um, for $25. I mean, you can't beat that, I think, especially now. I mean, even now, like, the sets out, the prices are still a little bit more inflated than MSRP. It's still hard to find the product, even though it's been a little bit easier than Prismatic because this is a mainline set. So, all right, so tying, let's roll back a little bit. So, Sea and Sky boxes, I get my little flip going with that. Then in the next like week or two, um, one of our buddies in Discord says that like he has a friend he knows in real life who's been doing this Pokemon stuff for like years, So my buddy Matt and I, who were like originally researching this and getting into it, we're like, oh man, please, like, let's talk to him, get him in here, like, let's talk to him, like, let him drop some knowledge on us. Because again, I love hearing from people who are already in the market, know what they're doing, like they've been doing it for years, obviously. And I have my cryptocurrency stock like um, history or knowledge behind me, but with the Pokemon and collectibles market, very new to it. So, and oh man, what's funny is another thing I kind of wanted to tie with the crypto and the collectibles market is kind of these are like fringe markets in the viewers of typical investors, I think. But I think that's exactly why these assets can be very volatile, one, but also volatility equals opportunity. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to be made, you know, in collectibles, crypto, more so than typical markets like stocks. So, but okay, tying this back to the buddy, not even tying it into that story, but so he gets on Discord, we're talking to him, he's dropping knowledge on us, and actually I might have his I could link his YouTube, I think. I'll double check. I think it's oh man, I don't want to butcher his YouTube name, so I don't want to. I'll just link him down below. He dropped some knowledge for me. So when we were in Discord about a month and a half, 2 months ago, but he was basically telling us booster boxes are the number one collectible items, obviously for OG collectors. That's what everybody buys because obviously you have a lot of packs in there, and if the set value goes up, like Crown Zenith, for example, obviously with the Sea and Sky, that booster box is going to go up a lot in value, especially if the packs. Imagine Sea and Sky or Evolving Skies. I couldn't mix up the names. Evolving Skies. If I had the opportunity to buy that years ago, obviously some people weren't buying it because the Pokemon market was more depressed back then. But now you look back then versus now, those boxes were a couple hundred after they went out of stock, but then now they're worth thousands, or 1,000 plus at least for now. But yeah, so this is why I mean like that I see this opportunity. But he's talking about booster boxes; they're the number one collectibles. But he also pointed out how the Pokemon Center ETBs are the next big like collectible item slash almost like taking over the booster box scene. And mainly because, I mean, let's compare them. Well, I have a couple right here. I was able to secure this from Pokemon Center, and I ended up getting a wholesaler as well. Let me see. Couldn't find the ETB for a second. All right, so I mean, there's pros and cons of both. Obviously, here's our booster box. It's a lot smaller, so you could store a lot more of these. I mean, a sealed case of these is, again, this is king still, I would say. Even though weight-wise it's a little bit more heavy, but space-wise it takes up a lot less space. So, but again, this new PC, I mean, this is not a PC ETB. This is just my example because I don't. The only PC ETB I have is Shrouded, which is in that box over right here. But I mean, I see why collectors want to go for this. Not only the Pokemon Center, not only for the Pokemon Center stamped promo, but also extra packs in there. And it's a good looking piece, if you want to display this displays really well, I think even better than the booster box. So, but yeah, so I see why, many people are going for that. So, our friend is kind of telling us about this, and he's telling us, Pokemon Center ETBs, those are the go-tos. And I think at the time there was only either two or possibly Shrouded was the only one in stock at the Pokemon Center. And he keeps talking about the PC ETBs, and then we were looking at the price of like the Pokemon Center stamped promo within the Shrouded, just because I wanted to see exactly like what's in the box, how much is it valued. And I think that Petrant. I might have butchered the name or said it right, but yeah, the Petrant promo, the Pokemon Center promo, it's like $25, $30 card almost. And these ETBs are $60 MSRP at the Pokemon Center. So in my mind, I'm like, why would I buy a normal Shrouded ETB, which I still bought some because I wanted to open some, but I bought a normal Shrouded ETB, but those are I think 40, $50. Why would I buy those with 4 or 9 packs in them when I can get the PC ETB for $10 more and I have a $20, $30 card guaranteed already and 11 packs. So essentially, if I open it, sell the Petrant for 20, $30, I'm getting 11 packs for $30, $20. That's a steal in my opinion. So I ordered a case while he was talking about this. My buddy and I, Matt and I, we both ordered a case. And he keeps talking about it, this and that, and we're finding more out about it. And we're like, oh my God, this is the last like ETB, PC ETB on the Pokemon Center, And as he's talking about it more and more, we're like, man, this really is the right thing to buy, at least in my mind too. And Matt and I we pulled the trigger, I think, on another set. So we both bought 2 cases each, which is only 4 ETBs each, and I think it came out to like 260 per case of shrouded PC ETBs. And we got so lucky, I'm not gonna lie. I think like 2, 3 days later after we bought those, out of stock on the Pokemon Center, which is crazy. And then the box price went up to like 80, 90 like right away, which is nuts. Like, again, seeing coming from crypto or stocks and into that's just nuts. And obviously we're in the middle of a bull market, but again, when things go out of stock, it's just like boom, spikes up like that. That blew my mind. So out of my 8 boxes of Shrouded though, I opened one because again, I like to open packs. I want to know the product I'm selling as well. I want to know what's in it, how it feels, all the packs. I don't know. I enjoy opening the packs. So I opened a box. I opened normal Shrouded ETB and a PC ETB. I think the best hits I got were like Dust Skull. I might have gotten a Dust Noir, a couple Pesandipides, a couple hits here and there. It was fun. I got more hits from the Shrouded, like two boxes of ETBs of Shrouded versus 5 boxes of Sea and Sky, which is which was kind of depressing. But because I always hurt everybody in the Discord, which I'll bring that up next because this is where I started hitting all the rest of my stock that I've been getting is the Poke Notified Discord with I believe Poke Doctor is the owner of the Discord, but don't quote me on that. But I'll link those in the description as well. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I kind of champion that Discord, even though I'm definitely not sponsored or anything. People might even think it because I definitely recommend it to everybody I see. Because I mean, it just notifies you when everything's in stock. You're not gonna have a chance with Best Buy. It seems like bots just take everything on Best Buy, so there's no chance. Um, but with Target and a couple other places, this is how I got some of the stock that's behind me is Walmart, Target, um, a couple other like random online retailers as well. So continuing on my journey in the first 2 months, this is all within 2 months, guys. It's a lot. I know the video might be long again, but if you're here this long, I appreciate it. Subscribe and stick around for the journey. But yeah, so we've got the Shrouded. Let me see what else I got on my list right here. If there's anything else. Oh, so then I wanted to get into Whatnot streaming. Okay, so I didn't even know about Whatnot until one of my buddies, like I think, sent me the link, $15 free or whatever. Which I'll put my link in the description as well if you want to stop by one of my streams and get free $15 at the store. But I wanted to try out Whatnot, and it seemed like Japanese packs were the way to go. So I ended up buying, I think it was like 4 BoosterBoxes of Japanese on Facebook. It was Battle Partners and Super Electric, I think, or Electric Breaker. I might get their name wrong. Again, I'm very new to all this. I might get the art rares and illustration rare names wrong and whatnot. Still learning everything. Um, but yeah, I bought some boxes. I tried out streaming. First stream actually, I want to say went decent. If I remember correctly, I might have set the start at $1. And in the beginning, I was kind of losing a little bit. People were only bidding $1, $2 per pack. But I noticed and I don't just dive in blind. I watched a lot of other streams before I decided to stream or, what type of stream I wanted to do. But I also wanted to move quickly because Whatnot has I think like a $150 bonus if you sell like $150 or $100 within the first week of sign up as a seller. So and that time was ticking, so I was like, oh crap, I gotta, do a stream like ASAP. So I ended up doing one like day 5 or day 4 or something like right away. And honestly, it went decent. Overall, I want to say with the $150 bonus, I made a little bit of profit, but overall, kind of lost money. I want to say like, well, in the first stream, I made a little bit of money because of the bonus. From then on, I think the next couple streams, I streamed a couple more times because I went through those boxes like easy in the first stream, which was crazy. But maybe they give you a boost on your first stream, get you more viewers or whatnot, because it was a little bit lower, less viewers in the next streams. But and again, I'll make some more videos about whatnot, my journey on that, and if you want to sign up to be a seller, I'll link that as well in the description. And yeah, the next couple streams, man, they didn't go too well. I mean, I think I stopped doing $1 starts because if you're not a big streamer and you don't have a big audience and there's only a couple people in there, usually a few people are only in there just for the giveaways, for example. Because I mean, you got to do some giveaways to at least get some people in there. They get free shipping, free cards. They enjoy that stuff. So some people are in there only for the giveaways. So you might have like 5 viewers. 4 of them are in there only just for the giveaways, and then you got like one buyer. And if you have $1 starts, no one else is bidding but that one person. They're getting your $3 battle partner packs. At the time, battle partner was like 85, $90 at the time. Now it's like 80. I think it dropped a little bit. Um, yeah, they're getting $1, $2 packs, and these packs cost me $3. So later down the line, I kind of changed the stream up to be, I think it was like, I, and we're back. Sorry, my headset thinks I'm AFK even though I'm talking to it, so it turned off. All right. We're on whatnot. Okay, so I tried to do a deal on my next couple streams to do like $9. I think it was for 3 packs for $9. Which again, in my mind, I think I'm still losing money on that because of the fees. But I decided that it's better to sell more because when you're selling single packs at $2, $3, you're paying like a flat like 30-cent fee no matter what, on top of the 10-15% fees and shipping, all sorts of other stuff. So you're really like, if you sell something for $1, you're gonna get maybe 60 cents or less like on that dollar. But if you sell higher ticket items, that fee percentage becomes a little bit less because that flat 30% on 20, $10, whatever, is a lot less percentage wise versus a dollar. So I try to sell 3 packs for 9, and honestly, a few people open packs, and I opened some crazy stuff in my stream, by the way, too. I'll try to see if I can find those clips and add them in here. We opened a Lily's Clefairy EX. We opened Iono's Belly Bolt, and Zora Arc. Like we pulled some of the best stuff in the set, which was pretty crazy. And I shipped all those out, so no complaints from any of my buyers on whatnot. Um, and yeah, the Lily's Clefairy got sniped for I think like $20. That person spent like $20 on the stream, and they sniped it on there like first pack of the night. It was like the first or second pack that we opened from the set too, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, so I tried $9 for 3. Not a lot of people were biting on that, man, which made no sense to me because then later I think I did like 19 for 4 packs or something, and more people were buying that, which made no sense to me because I felt like the 3 for 9 was a great deal for buyers, but people weren't buying it. I don't know. So I moved it to I think 19 for 4, which is less. It's less better for the buyer, obviously, but again, even with the 3 for 9, I'm losing money on that. So I had to set it to a point where I got to start making a little bit of money on these sales because you can't lose money on every sale for the whole stream, even if you get a few viewers or followers. Because I mean, maybe it'll work if you do it consistently, but you're going to consistently lose money as well if you do that. So I haven't since doing those streams. I actually took a little break because my name on there is the username I used on there is not Trader's Vault. So and to switch to it, all the orders have to arrive. And another issue I've had with this and with my other small business, I send out a lot of packages and whatnot with my other business and like mail envelopes, even smaller packages. And man, I haven't had this many issues with USPS before, which is kind of crazy until doing Pokemon cards. So I had one of my buyers who I'm kind of friends with now on Discord. he his package, just the first stuff he ever bought from me, um, the the shipping label was showing every single route, like from Arizona all the way to New York, like all these different stops, and it made it to like its like final stop essentially, like his like post office that's supposed to like give it to him essentially. And then all of a sudden, package is lost or stolen or whatever. Like it's just gone from their system. And like what the hell? So I got my buyer coming after me, and he wasn't upset. Thankfully, it was he's chill. He was like, hey man, like this package never arrived, and I was like, oh, what the hell? Like it was literally in tracking like the other day. I remember looking at it and it literally said in New York, or I was like, it should be there like by today, like what the heck happened? And yeah, he's like, oh, I don't know. I looked at the tracking and it just like shows like lost. So I'm like, what the hell? So he called USPS, I think, for the number, gave him the um, package, and basically they told him to, I think, or call me to tell them to. Oh my God, that's confusing. They basically told me to contact USPS and get a reimbursement essentially for the money, and then he contacted Whatnot to get the money back from them. So I think Whatnot paid his money back for that order, which again I think it was like almost a $40-50 order, which is kind of ridiculous that a package like that gets lost. Because I remember I actually packed that one up in a small like 4x4x6 box I think, and yeah, that got lost somehow, and so he got reimbursed from Whatnot. I sent a like collect I forget, it was like not a complaint but a form on USPS to like get your money back essentially for the package to show like how much it was valued and whatever. And I actually haven't gotten that money back still, and I did that a couple weeks ago I think, or like a week or 2 weeks ago maybe. I filled that form out from USPS and I still haven't gotten the money back from that. So that's like another $40-50 loss on my end for now. That I've had to eat. And then, oh yeah, so I haven't streamed since also because I want to change my name on Whatnot to Trader's Vault. And I haven't been able to do that because some of my packages are still out for delivery. And some of my packages, again, this is from the original first stream I did, are also like lost in transit with USPS. And again, I've never had this many issues with USPS before. Maybe it's all the, I don't want to get too political, but administrative cutting, I think they've been cutting jobs from USPS as well, but I'm not sure. It's just not consistent, which that kind of eats into your margins as well. But overall, so in Whatnot, I have not profited that much. I want to say I made a little bit of money, lost a little bit. So overall, I want to say probably break even. I'll have to do a dollar estimate in another video, like drop an exact amount. But yeah, so I did some Whatnot streaming in my first couple months as well. Besides that, let's scroll down. And again, I'll link Notify in the chat below, or in the comments. Yeah, I want to say besides that, I just want to kind of talk about the build and battle boxes and the pre-release events. Again, I kind of talked about it shortly earlier, but I want to say Sneaker Talk, TCG, or some other person on YouTube was essentially suggesting to go to the pre-release events. And not only have I been, buying boxes, flipping a little bit, opening a little bit, I also been playing the TCG live on the app. And I just have an Arcanine EX deck, nothing fancy, that I've been playing with, which I kind of have like a Dark Charizard mixed in there. But yeah, so I learned the game from TCG Live, so I kind of knew what I was doing a little bit, at least before going to the pre-release event. And my girlfriend went with me, which was really fun. We were thinking at first though that we were gonna like get our build and battles and kind of like battle each other, just kind of like learn and have fun, like 2 out of 3 like against each other. But it was cool because you actually face random people and like, random opponents and stuff. So that was kind of actually fun. We weren't ready for that, but hey, it was fun, and we went to multiple events. And again, it's a good way to open packs, especially with Destined Rivals coming up. If you haven't been able to secure any pre-orders properly, like I haven't been able to. Which big story about that. I woke up at like, we're West Coast, so we gotta wake up early for these drops, because they're usually like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern. So we have to wake up at like 5, like 6 a.m. Early, like 4:45, like be ready for the drop by 5. And on Thursday morning, I woke up early at like before 5, stayed up, nothing. Friday, same thing, woke up early, stayed up, nothing. Sunday night, I was putting in some eBay orders, like eBay listings. I stayed up till like 2, and then I was kind of tired. I was like, all right, let's go to bed. Ended up going to bed around 2, and then set my alarm for 4:45 again. But again, that was like not enough sleep, I guess. And I only set one alarm, and I slept right through that thing. And then I woke up at like 9 o'clock, maybe like hours later, and I wake up to like messages on Discord, like, oh, did you get the drop? Did you get the drop? Or like my buddies and stuff. I was like, fuck, man, I missed it. I missed it. So ended up missing the Destined Rivals drop, at least from the Pokemon Center. I think I did secure for the first time in 2 months. I was able to actually get an order at Best Buy, and I think it was only because I heard the pings in the Discord, and they dropped like I think everything at once. They dropped the booster boxes, ETBs, the 3-pack blisters, the bundles, everything at once. So I was clicking all the links, opening up all of them, and booster box sold out, ETB sold out. Got to the bundle, and it's like click to get in line, click that, and then it was like 3-pack. I think it was a 3-pack blister. Yeah, I hope so. It was a 3-pack blister, I think, and I got in line for that as well. And then all of a sudden, both of them, I ended up getting through the line. That was the first time ever I got through the line at Best Buy, which is crazy. But I ended up getting an order in for a booster bundle and I want to say a 3-pack blister, but we can double check later. But yeah, so that's all I got for Destin Rivals so far. Besides, another LGS actually went live with their orders, but they had it open for like 8 hours or something. So a lot of people in the Discord and many other Discords knew about it, and thousands of like tens of thousands of people like ordered. And then all of a sudden, it's not live on their website anymore the next morning, which took like 8 hours or something for them to take it down. But I think they're going to cancel most people's orders. The cool thing though, this hopefully I was thinking outside the box and this works. I honestly put a lot of orders in. Some of them were. This place is local to me, at least. I mean, 20, 30 minutes away. Not too bad. I think it's like at 30 minutes if there's a little bit of traffic. It's in Tempe, Arizona, 30-minute drive from me. So I put some of my orders as shipments, but I put a majority. Oh, I thought my headset died again. I put a majority of the orders as pickup local. So I'm hoping maybe if they cancel everyone's orders, maybe they like leave the local people and I can go pick up some ETBs for Destin Rivals. But since I missed the Pokemon Center ETB, but yeah, so we'll see where Destin Rivals takes us. We'll see where this video takes, or where this channel takes us, this journey. I appreciate if you've been sticking around this long. Only other thing I want to say is basically subscribe to follow the journey. I do have a Patreon started as well if you really believe that I can succeed doing this business long term. Um, I kind of want to run things like Rudy, man. Coming one last like short little story I'll say. Coming from meme coins and I've been inspired from a lot of YouTubers, not just Rudy. Recently, like watching a lot of them. A lot of different Pokémon, Rudy, and oh man, I gotta find this other channel. I watched this video about AMC investing and how this guy went into like millions of dollars of debt, and everyone thinks he's like rich, but he's literally in like debt to family and all this stuff. So I kind of really relate to that in a sense. Kind of took that to heart, that video. Oh man, I gotta find that one, and I'll link that one as well in the description. Um, Man, where was I going with this? Essentially, I don't know, man. I think long term, I can stick out and do this. Even though this is a bull market right now, this is easier right now to be done. But again, social media is the way to go with this. So hopefully you stick around for my journey. And if you really believe in what I'm doing, again, I have the Patreon. I hope to. Again, I don't have a distributor at all right now. So, and again, from Pokeani's videos and other YouTubers' videos, it seems like only way to really get that is social media, and that's what the start of this is. Um, but I hope to bring some deals for my patrons. So from my dedication of all these purchases that I've been making, and I've been trying to make my purchases at or below MSRP whenever possible, the cheapest possible. For example, this box right here is I think like still 70. I think I'll make a video about the Charizard SBC, which I think this is an undervalued box right now. I mean, it's got 10 packs in it. If you can get this for 50, 100% recommend it. Um, but I think the first deal for the patrons that I can do, probably starting in April, is going to be excuse me, the Charizard box. I'll probably have these listed for $69.99. I'll probably flip a few of them, but I do want to keep some long term because I really think these are going to gain value. Because they're really underappreciated right now. But I'm gonna run a Patreon sale. So the Patreon starts at 5. I have a 15 option as well if you really believe in what I'm doing. But the 5 option and the 15, you'll get $10 off of this box, off the 70. So it'll be $59.99 for you. So you make a little bit of money back from your patron at least for the first month. And maybe the month after that we'll do some booster boxes or the adventure chest or whatever. If I got some stuff to sell, I can sell at least below market to you guys. And it's like you pay 5 for the patron, you get 10 back. I'm trying to do that. But the story I was trying to get to with the crypto and Rudy was when I was doing my crypto stuff. I There was some crazy times where I was making thousands in seconds, like thousands of dollars in seconds or minutes, like not even probably like under a minute, thousands of dollars, and it was a crazy time. It was a great time. This past year, I made a lot from crypto, so I really am thankful for that. But in my eyes, it's not really a legitimate business, especially meme coins and launching meme coins and all that stuff. It's not really like a long-term legitimate business because at the end of the day, in my eyes, like those are just mini Ponzi schemes essentially. Whereas at least this cardboard is a little bit more tangible. But the way I was doing that, I kind of got inspired by seeing Rudy's Patreon sale on. I joined his Patreon. It's for life, so we'll see if I ever quit or we'll pay him for life until Rudy dies. So I joined his Patreon. So, um, but yeah, I was really inspired by that Patreon Journey Together sale. Man, he sold out in 1 minute. In under a minute, $75,000 of products gone like that, snapped up. And that just reminded me again to the crypto days where I was, making couple thousand in like a minute or two, and that's kind of what Rudy's doing, but with real product. But he's built an empire over time, decades. But hey, I'm young. We're just starting this journey out, so we'll see where it takes us. This was a really long outro. Thanks for sticking around. Subscribe for the next video.